Welcome to Tech in the Car. I am Oliver and this is the Audi SQ2. Now there's a valid question to be asked here. Is there a place in today's car market for a small, sporty SUV? Is it worth getting? Should it exist? And is this a good car? In this video, I'm going to try and answer those questions. Now the Q2 started off in 2016 and then you've got the sporty version, the SQ2, which is available in 3 different trims, the SQ2, the Black Edition, and the Vorsprung, which is what this is. This car starts at £48,250 on the road for the Vorsprung edition. The SQ2 has 300 horsepower from its 2-litre 4-cylinder engine, 400 Newton meters of torque, and can do 0 to 62 miles an hour in 4.9 seconds. And it's got a combined MPG of around 33.9 miles per gallon. So pretty good efficiency for a car, which has got a lot of power, a lot of torque, and is really, really fast as well. So that's impressive. What makes a Vorsprung different from the other trim levels? Well, there's a few things. First of all, this car has these fantastic 19-inch 5 double-spoke Audi Sport wheels. I've never seen an Audi with white wheels like that, which hasn't been from the aftermarket. So this is really, really interesting to see. And then we've got all black badges all over this car. Another sign of a Vorsprung is when you have black badges on the front. And we've also got a decal down the side here, which is very, very interesting, which says Quattro, because this is, of course, a Quattro 4-wheel drive car. This car also has a panoramic sunroof, also part of the Vorsprung pack. And then we've got, obviously, the blacked out wing mirrors. We've got full matrix LED lights. We've got all the Audi assistance features, including driver assist, active lane assist, cruise control. Everything's on here, automatic parking as well. Everything. So this car has got all the latest safety technology. Let's have a look a bit more at some of the details of the design though. Telltale signs of the Vorsprung are the matrix LED headlights, the blacked out grille, and you can see these have the split daytime running lights down here, and they have dynamic turn signals where they sweep from left to right. One obvious sign of an expensive Audi. And this car, big intakes. This is really interesting. The grille here has got massive holes. I can literally fit my hand between them. In fact, I can actually even touch the radiator. I don't recommend anyone does that, but I can do. I haven't seen any other Audis with such large holes in the grille, but it's blacked out. We've got the adaptive cruise control sensors down there. Very, very nice. The only option on this car is this Tango Red paint, which is £575. But other than that, everything else is standard on this top of the range Vorsprung model. I really like Tango Red. It looks really great with a contrasting black on the trim, and it's really stand out. And when we get inside, you can also see that red color carried over into some of the interior design features, such as the ambient lighting, which is very, very cool. What about the rear design of the SQ2? Well, being the Vorsprung, we've got our black badges, the Audi badges, the SQ2 badge. I really like the Q there, and it looks very cool. We've got this, obviously, really nice spoiler which comes on the SQ2, which isn't on the standard Q2. And then down here we have our diffuser. What makes an S Audi or an RS Audi is the tailpipes. We've got our quad round tailpipes here, which you get on the S model Audis, and then the RS you've got the big round oval double tailpipe. So that's what makes them different. You've also got a little diffuser here. Now obviously this is a hatchback, being an SUV, and it has an automatic tailgate, and I do love an automatic tailgate. We have 355 litres of space here, plus you can put down the back seats as well. There is some space underneath the floor here, but really it's not very much. The subwoofer takes it up. It's a tiny bit of space. I'm not sure I would use that as storage. We've got hooks and tether points back here as well, and you can put down the back seat. We've got the 60/40 design here. You put it flat. There's a lot of space here, and you can fit loads of stuff over. There's over 1,000 litres with the back seats down. So this is a very practical car. I feature a lot of new cars on my channel like this, the SQ2, and maybe you're ready to change your car for something new as well. Well, I've partnered with exchangemycar.com, which is a smart way to sell your car. If you click on my link down below in my description, you can go through and take advantage of what they offer you, which includes the ability to pay you before they collect your car. On the same day, they collect your car in a truck, so you don't have to worry about that as well. And it's nice and simple and easy. You can even part exchange your car against thousands of other cars from other dealers, or through exchangemycar.com. Please give them a visit if you're interested in selling a car, and you can get a free quotation evaluation of your current car to see what it's worth. Here in the back of the SQ2, you can see that it's fairly spacious. I've got enough space as an adult, about 178 centimeters tall. I've got a bit of head space here, and I've got a bit of knee space. Now, the thing with the knee space here is this is in the driving position, and you can see actually there isn't an awful lot of space here. On this side, there'd be more space. So I do think that it might be a bit cramped for big adults in the back of this car. It is a small SUV, and you can definitely feel that in the back here. In terms of comfort and quality, these seats feel really comfortable. These are leather in this high trim of the SQ2. We've got little pockets here. We've got a 12 volt, so you can plug in your phone if you have a USB 12 volt charger converter. We've got some lights, and you know, quite wide open windows here where you can get good light and visibility through it. And plus this panoramic glass sunroof does add some more light into the back here. These seats will fold down as well, as you'll see when we look in the back of the car. Overall, it's fine back here. Obviously, if you need more space, maybe you want to go for a Q3 in the Audi range instead of the Q2. Here inside the SQ2, it's like Audi combined the best of the previous generation and the best of the new generation to make this car. The interior is very similar to previous generation A3. We've got these round vents, which are very, very familiar. We've got the same design dashboard. However, there are some differences. These inlays are backlit and say Quattro in them in red in this car. And then we've got the same design of the infotainment system in terms of the screen, although it doesn't go up and down like on the previous generation A3. We've got the same design climate control. We've got a similar design center console with a scroll wheel. It's slightly slimmer on this car, but it's very, very similar. And then we've got our round steering wheel. So this is exactly like how the new generation cars. We've got a hexagonal airbag. We've got the double metal spokes, and it's fully round. Audi don't seem to offer anymore a flat bottom steering wheel with cars that have the driver assistance packs. And this car does have it all: adaptive cruise control, lane assist, automatic parking. It has all the latest technology. And then one other thing which is the same as a previous generation in front of me is a virtual cockpit. It's got the same round tachometer which shows you the speed and the gears in a central position, which lots of people miss on the new style cars. For me personally, it doesn't really bother me, but I do like this. It is a very nice design. It's a shame it isn't an option on the new cars as well. In terms of the seats, these seats are harder than I would expect. They are still leather, they are still comfortable, but they're harder than other seats I've sat in other Audis. They're manual, they don't have thigh support, but they do have electric lumbar control, so you can adjust the lumbar control, but everything else is manual. We've got a cubby hole in the middle here where you can store stuff. There's one USB underneath the central infotainment screen and a 12 volt, and then there's another USB in the middle here, as well as an auxiliary input. The door design is a lot more fancy than the new generation cars. It's got a glossy design, it's very attractive. It makes you see that Audi spent time putting attention into the design here, which maybe has been missing for the newer generation cars. We also have a Sonos sound system. Audi have started rebranding their Bang & Olufsen systems to Sonos. It doesn't sound any different to Bang & Olufsen system, but people, I think, maybe think Sonos is more well known than Bang & Olufsen, and so they'd rather brand it with that. And there is a button here to open the hatch to the back. Overall, really nice interior, very comfortable, but does it drive as sportily as it looks and as it feels sitting in this car? Let's take it for a drive and find out. At the start of this video, I asked the question, is there space for the SQ2 for a sporty luxury hatchback, which is what this is as far as Audi are concerned. There is a small hatchback. Is there space for one in today's market? Does it make sense? Is it worth having? And is this car a good car to have? Well, let's first of all talk about the driving experience, what this is like to drive. So right now, I've got this in efficiency mode. And in efficiency mode, designed to maximize, obviously, the miles per gallon and the efficiency, it feels like every car in efficiency mode, a bit slow to respond, a bit hesitant. You know, I've never liked a car in efficiency mode. I think the efficiency mode really should only be used on motorways when you're sitting in traffic. If we go to comfort, and we're going to have these speed bumps. Now, this car is obviously risen. It's higher than the A3, which is the platform that it's based on. And how does it feel? Now, I mean, if I'm honest with you, it's okay, it's comfortable, but there's an irony that the suspension on the new Audi RS3, which is the sporty, fast RS car, is actually better than this. I feel like this car, the suspension is just a tiny bit too firm. Now this could be a result of the SQ2 being the more sporty version. On the Q2 it might be slightly better, but on here it's just a bit hard. Again, it's fine. You can see I'm not being thrown around the car as I'm driving along. It's just not as comfortable as I would expect from a car that sits higher up when going over bumps in the road. Now if we go into auto, I think auto is the sweet spot. It will speed up with quicker response when you go faster, and it will slow down when you're doing being more efficient. And then we go to dynamic. So if we go into dynamic, immediately you can hear the valves open up on the exhaust. And so now we've got the performance mode of this car, of the SQ2. You can feel that this car has the desire to pounce, to take off, to give you that extra speed, to give you that full 300 horsepower and that 400 Newton meters of torque. You can definitely feel that in this mode, even though I'm coming along to a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit camera, so I'm definitely not using it. But you can hear kind of the deep rumbling coming from the back. And I don't think there's much noise pumped into the car here. I think it's very, very slight, if at all any. And this is really where you've got a car which is great for overtaking, great for that extra boost you need, and for that more fun, playful drive which you want. You know, I put my foot down a tiny bit here and I can hear some noise. It feels a lot better. You know, you've got 300 horsepower. That's more than 90% of the cars on the road, and you've got an SUV, and you've got that space in the back which you wouldn't get from other cars. So you've got some big advantages going here which you don't get with other vehicles and other cars, and that is a really good thing. Now if we move it now into our next mode, which is individual. Now individual allows you to adjust what you want it to be. So you can adjust the gearbox to be auto, you can adjust the steering to be comfort and dynamic or auto for all of these, and the same with the sound as well. We can adjust the sound to be comfort, auto and dynamic, and then the adaptive cruise control as well. So individual lets you get the best of both. Maybe you want the more comfortable suspension setting, but you want a bit more performance from the car. But I think auto is a sweet spot with this car. Now, talk about driver assistance, this car has it all. I'm sitting in traffic now, I can turn on the lane assist and the adaptive cruise control. It will turn on here. Now there are no lane markings here, so it's not going to keep me in the lane, but the adaptive cruise control will keep me the distance from the car in front, just like I want. And I'm safe, and it's actually got very good lane assist as well. If I was on a road where there are lanes where I could demonstrate it, then you'd be able to see it works really well as well, on par with the new generation cars from Audi. So let's go back to that original question. Is there a place for this car in the market now for a small, sporty SUV? Well, Volkswagen and Audi seem to decide the answer to that is no, as they've announced they're going to stop production on the Q2 range going forwards shortly. So if you want a Q2 and SQ2, this is the time to get it, because it will no longer be around. They've said that the reason why is they think that the market is for larger SUVs. And you know, if you go up just a tiny bit to the Q3, you then get the RS Q3, which has got the character of that 5-cylinder engine, plus a bit more space, a bit more room, and a bit more comfort. And you know, that is probably what you want. Now, if you're after a small SUV, which has got that performance, then absolutely you should get this car. But if you want a bit more space and you want a bit more performance, then the Q3 is probably the way to go. So what's my verdict on this, the Audi SQ2? Well, I think it's a great looking car. It's a fast car, it's a sporty car, it's an SUV, and if you're looking for a small SUV, then it's definitely the car for you to check out. My Tech in the Car score reflects that. It's got the latest technology, it's comfortable, it can park itself, it can do pretty much everything you can want in a car, and I think it's really great value for what it is, especially if you look at it starting in the Q2 line, going up to the SQ2, you've got a lot of choice and a lot of variety. Please give this video a like, subscribe for more on the channel, and don't forget to watch all my other videos on Audi. I've got tons of Audi videos and videos on electric cars. See you in the next video. Thank you very much.